What's going on, guys? Alright, so I've got a Subaru STI here and I'm going to wrap the hood since a lot of you asked for the hood wrap on this vehicle right here. I've got the hood scoop already out, and it's probably because you want to know how to wrap the hood scoop, but I'm going to actually show you this video first. It's a pretty straightforward hood. It's not very long at all as far as front to back goes. It's only maybe like 40 inches if that, but across it's about 67, 68. So I've cut my film already. We're wrapping this car in Vivid's gloss Nardo gray. I think it's going to look phenomenal. I got to take off the mirror wrap. It's wrapped in red right now. The roof wrap is wrapped in gloss right now, and gloss black, and we're going to remove that as well and do that in gloss carbon fiber, as well as the hood scoop. The customers asked that we do some gloss carbon fiber on the hood scoop with the gloss Nardo gray. So I've got my piece of vinyl cut already. I've already prepped the surface here. I'm going to grab my vinyl. I've also got my wife recording today, so we should get some better footage for you. So we're going to take our piece and plop it over top. You can see I'm going to have a ton of extra film in the front, but that's alright, I'll cut it off. In this case, the hood is very much like a rectangle, so cutting off the excess film is going to work out pretty good, as opposed to some hoods are more round, where you might not want to cut off all that excess film because it will throw off the integrity of the film when you go to reposition it. Alright, so one magnet on each side is fine. What I'm going to do is trim off the front section here. So there's the edge of the hood. Yeah, I've got a ton of extra film. I'm going to try and keep it square. So, right there is where I want it. Perfect. I'll save this for the mirrors and door handles. Just going to toss that inside the car. And as far as this goes, let's get the backing paper off. So let's keep it rolling so we don't cause any unnecessary creases. We don't want to have to go in there and try to heat out some creases in the middle, so we want to keep this backing paper as smooth as possible. I'm right-handed, so I tend to start from that corner always. If you're left-handed, you may want to start from this corner. Now, with the hood scoop being out, I've used a compressor to thoroughly clean in the hood scoop area. That way we don't pick up any extra debris from when we go to reposition the film. We don't want to lift anything up. So I've been really thorough in our preparation here. So we're just gonna give it a little flip-flop. And we want to start somewhere in the middle here. Pretty straightforward stuff. All right. Obviously the hood comes down here in the middle. So what I want to do is I want to iron out my line here, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to get some of this done on this side first. All right. And so now what I want to do is draw it a bit this way and a bit this way. I'm going to use a bit of heat for this just simply because it's going to make life a little bit easier. We need to draw all this slack out, right? Look how much slack I have in there. So I'm going to take a bit from here. I'm just keeping a bit of tension on the film. Not really killing it with the heat, I'm just gotta make the film pliable, you know. Make life easier when it comes to doing this little part right here. That's good. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna lock this in a little bit over here first. Now we don't have a lot of recesses and stuff like that in this hood, so there isn't a lot of laying in. Got a nice little stone chip there. I saw that before I wrapped the hood and I was prepping it. See how I always have my hands holding the film up? Just kind of helps with air release, makes it a lot faster. I do this often even with Avery or 3M or any other brand. So because I threw off the integrity of the film over here, what I need to do is also be thorough and make sure I got all the air out. But heat it up again because we've changed everything here. And I'm just gonna simply glass it out a bit. So when we do this, you can see when I put a little tension on the film and I start near the edge here, what I can do with the heat gun is chase the wrinkles out, all right? One of my students over the past weekend mentioned this phrase to me and I was like, oh, that sounds genius, chase the wrinkles out. So I'm going to alleviate some of the tension that I have right here. This way we don't have any wrinkles on the edge. So I'm just going to heat it. I'm not even going to put really any tension on it. Now what I want to do is just spread it out. It's all about directions here, guys. Okay. So it's all about pulling out and then kind of pulling down. So let's do the other side. This side's pretty much finished. So again, same deal over here. Let's get my magnet off. Let's hope that that's been recording the whole time, guys. So what's going to happen with these wrinkles, that as soon as I pull this way, they'll actually go away, right? See? Let's keep the vinyl up. So we always want to keep the vinyl up when we heat. Because we can't heat the vinyl while it's touching anything. Simply, it's not going to give you that pull that you need. So it has to be elevated. See, it's touching here. I can't have it touching here, so it's going to mess me up. There we go. It has to be elevated. Again, what we're doing is we're drawing all the film down a bit to the corner. Looks good to me. So we can just simply gloss it out a little bit, outline our hood scoop. Now this side's been sitting for quite a while, so it's probably going to trap a bit of air. We'll see. No, it's coming out pretty good. Let's just make life easier there. Let's finish off the front section right here. So I'm just pulling back, pop it up a little bit. I'm going to let the vinyl shrink down. Look. See how it shrinks down, right? What we need to do is I need to find the edge here. There it is. Use your wrap glove. Use your wrap glove for this. It's going to be a little bit easier. You always want to go for that deepest part of the recess right off the bat. Perfect, that looks pretty. So, got to release the air because I've locked it all in. There we go. Down right here. The reason why I pull back like this is because if we pull up, we could actually pull up the whole sheet of vinyl. We don't want to do that. So I pull back on the film and then just add a little pressure from underneath, and that kind of pops it up. That's all you really need to do. Let's fix this up right here. Make sure we have no wrinkles on the edge before we go to lay the edge. So I'm going to heat it up again a bit. let it shrink down, let it do its thing, just like that. And then just gonna let it cool slightly and gently keep it smooth as possible. All right, so that section is done. Let's move on over to here. A little air in there still, let's chase it out. There we go. So I'm gonna take my wrap glove off again for now. So you can see me pulling back on the film. There we go, get the air out of there. And what I'm going to do, should stick, yeah, is just make sure we don't have any excess tension here. I want to draw it down a little bit. All right, so all about directions here. Add a little bit of heat here now to shrink it. There we go. And just keep it smooth. Gonna need a couple shots of heat here, I think. Yep. Mostly this area right here. Again, look, I'm trying to disperse tension over the largest area as possible. We don't want to stretch really confined areas. We want to make sure we're stretching over large areas. Perfect. All right, so the hood is wrapped. Now all we got to do is trim it. I'm just going to go over it. It's a really hard color to see actually for if we've left any air behind. So I'm going to trim up this back section here first. Get that right out of the way. And right here, I'm just going to not cut very deep. I don't want to cut right into the paint. Even though it is behind the hood scoop, we're still being cautious as always. Just letting the blade do the work. Knife work is a thing that will take quite a bit of practice. So I recommend when you're learning how to use a knife is practice more so on your own car. And I don't know what that was. Practice more in your own car or small objects like, you know, your laptop or your cell phone or whatever. Don't practice on a Ferrari for your first time when you're cutting. So now I'm going to go over the hood scoop and tuck this in a bit. You might want to use your glove for something like this, just because it'll help a little bit. What I'm gonna do now is pop the hood. I'm gonna trim right here. Actually, no, I'm just gonna pop the hood. So you can get it off the edge. The hood is already popped. I just have to undo the safety latch. There we go. Which is right here. I'm gonna watch as we open it, make sure that we're not ruining anything. There we go. So this gives me better access to the edge of the hood. So I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna do one corner. So you can see, if you want to look right here, I have the corner is actually elevated slightly. This makes things really, really, really easy, okay? So what I'm going to do is just pull it back slightly, heat it up slightly, stretch it around the corner, and then boom, heat it up again, all right? Then we got a beautiful round corner. And the hood just closed. Just fine. What you can do is you can prop the hood up. Totally fine. Didn't ruin anything. It's just now it got stuck again. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna prop the hood up. It's fine with a bottle. I'll use that. Perfect. So I just use a plastic bottle for that. So I'm gonna make sure that's still good over here. We're good. I'm going to finish up the back here since we're already over here. Got a little wrinkle on the edge, just want to get that out. These corners are really easy because they're very rounded. And again, I'll just pull the film down slightly, get it around slightly. I like to heat the corners up quite a bit because what that does is going to basically post-heat them so they don't move. That's what you want to do. You don't want your corners moving. You want them to stay as nice as possible the whole time, right? So while the wrap's on the car. So now with the hood a little bit higher, I don't have the same kind of access as I did, but I can do it still. Perfect. So I'm going to lift this up and just tuck a little bit underneath. And then I'm about ready to trim this whole piece out. So I'm going to do it right now. I'm not even going to lift the hood, I'm just going to trim it like this. Since I'm right-handed, I'm going to start over here. Pretty much do all this in one shot all the way around. So back of the blade, on the back side, keep a bit of tension on the floating piece of vinyl. Okay. Underneath the corner, always underneath the corner. So I'll wait. So I'm underneath with the blade, right? This will give you a more round and a nicer corner. When the vinyl starts floating, like here, you have to put tension on it to get yourself a straight cut. So you can see my fingers still on the edge as a guide. I'm not free floating my hand. Staying straight. in the front door. That's fine. It's all about finding the sweet spot. Every time I stop, yes, I might get a little notch in the vinyl, but I mean, the line is going to be so thin and straight for the most part, you're not even going to see that. So, let's get her up here a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to stop there and then bring this piece towards me from here, just because it's easier. I like to be bringing the blade, I like to be behind the blade when I'm cutting. I don't want to be cutting out like that very much. I like to be bringing the blade in towards me and being behind the blade. It's much more comfortable and it's much more easy to cut straight and steady. There we go. Alright, so this whole piece is cut off. We're going to go over the edge with heat, because that's what we always have to do. And this part of the hood's done. I'm going to do a separate video on the scoop, and I'll show you where I'll do the inlay, because it will need one. Let's see if we can lift this up and get better access. So that could have been a little straighter there. I had a feeling when I was pulling the vinyl that I got that little tiny bit there. It wasn't keeping tension on the film. And that's what happens when you don't keep tension on the film. I can go in there and trim that afterwards. It's not a big deal. I mean, if your car looks like that and it's your own car, no big deal. I just like to finesse these things for myself, because really I know how to wrap a car, and these are just kind of like the extra little details after that. But when you're learning, it's not a big deal. I'll show you these corners in a second. Perfect. Alright, so we always try not to cut on the paint, but I'm going to trim this up because it's ugly to me. And if I cut very carefully, I can just score the vinyl. Perfect. Now it looks nicer. Yeah, I got that little bit there, but I'm not concerned about that. I can let that one slide. Alright, so check out the corners. So, let's have a look over in the back. These are the, I guess, the main ones. The other ones are really, really easy. These aren't even that hard, actually. They're pretty easy. So, it should turn out nice. Looks good. Same with the other side. Everything looks good. And again, that's as perfect as they'll ever need to be. Alright guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see the hood scoop, don't forget to subscribe. I know you're probably waiting for that part. And thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Take care.